They spot it. They say just outside the 20-yard line. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. The first carry now. This is Hill. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Let's meet the offensive starters, and let's discuss Corey Coleman, first wide receiver drafted out of last year's class.
And there was a reason for that. When you watched his tape, when you watched his games, you saw his explosiveness and ability to play the ball in the air downfield. Don't get hung up on the fact he only ran 4 routes at Baylor. Just coach him up and turn him loose.
And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. And the Bengals starting defensive unit now.
Vontaze Burfict is a super talent and a fierce competitor. He can do it all at the linebacker position.
Throwing is Kessler on third down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And taken right on the 30. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Bengals take possession. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up. But you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, in that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Second down, Dalton. And his throw here is incomplete.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. 3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. 23 yards on the play. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Uses this stiff arm. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he lost the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go. I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. On second down, Hill. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Coach hinted to us that we may see some old power football here in this game. We got a taste of it on that first down run.
I love how he hinted it to us. And then when we were watching practice, we were watching what they call inside drill with the offensive and defensive line. And they kept putting more defenders on the other side and saying, block that. I don't care how many guys are in there. I want to run the football this week. And, boy, it has paid off for them in this game. Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Now a first down carry. It's Hill. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Well, we just saw the recipe for success right there. Big body, strong, agile, playing with great leverage in hands. Not really able to be blocked on that play. Close things down inside.
Off the play fake. Kessler. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
On third down, here's Hill. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a fourth down situation. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one from 56 yards out. And we were scoreless up until this point in the second quarter. Now we finally have a little action.
Let's see where this action takes us. First quarter, no points at all. Now we've got our first score of the game. Well, does that signal that we're going to get more as we go along? Or will it revert back to what we saw in the beginning of the game?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? They go play action here on first down. He'll buy some time right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, gets stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19. Benny Logan in there on the tackle.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Now the Bengals will settle for 3 as the field goal unit comes on here. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And Forbath will put this one through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So this offensive unit, they've now had 3 drives, and they only have 3 points to show for it.
Payoff is the key for everything. How many offenses we talk to that say we have to finish drives? Thus far, this team hasn't finished it quite the way they've wanted to.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Offense staying ahead of the chains here, 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, here's Kessler. He's going to wind up and air it out. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Shift together here from the D-line. Kessler looks to throw on 2nd down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And out of bounds all the way down at the 2-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Browns have taken the lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments. Let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. It's second down. Dalton looking. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on third down. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And Eifert has it. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
And Green with a catch left side. Well, we saw the practice film this week. They wanted to focus on these intermediate passing plays, and it paid off there.
And they took that focus not just to the practice field, but in the film room to show the guys exactly what they wanted, what types of looks they should expect to get, and how they would beat those coverages each and every time, and it paid off on that play.
Dalton, 1st and 10. Going down the middle, and it's complete. A good pick up there of 20 yards. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So they go out of the gun, try to delay it on the draw, but nothing there.
Yeah, good play by the defense there. They sniffed it out and made sure there were no gaps for him to run. If you're the offense, though, you have to think to yourself, maybe I go play action down the road.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
To the left side here for Eifert. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. And they give this time to the tailback. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10.
One of the hallmarks of their success this year, they've been fearless on 4th down. And they convert another one right here to move the chains.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he pulls his way into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown. A great effort there. His 14th touchdown. Draw even, and of course they can take the lead if they hit the extra point. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They'll get 17 yards there. And it's good enough for a Cleveland first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
To throw, Kessler. A dump off now to Hill. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Kessler now on third down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. Kessler to throw once more. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
And Parkey's kick is good. And they take the lead here by 2, 12-10. So they get the field goal here at the end of the second quarter and take the lead into the lockers.
And isn't that what every team wants to do? Right at the end of the half, put points on the board and go into the locker room feeling a lot better about themselves.
Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack. But I love his suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone. And into the offensive backfield, he's a heck of a player.
And there, a big TFL, tackle for loss.
Hard to believe that his father, Gene Atkins, was an NFL defensive back. Has bred this big defensive tackle.
Looking to pass, Kessler, and he dropped it. Now it was tipped, altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it, and now fourth down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch it. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
That's taken on the 25. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Second and 10. Dalton once more. Toward the sideline, and And look at that catch, dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Green alone out to the right. They go play action here on first down. Caught, Eifert over the middle. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. That one goes for 24 yards. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Dalton throwing on 2nd down. That's caught at the 3. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Tyler Boyd, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are going to jump back in front. And he knocks it through. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now Kessler on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Jeremy Hill was the one he was trying to hit there. And it's 2nd down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Kessler, he's got time in the pocket, and he comes back with one complete. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. And now they're in the hurry-up.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Now Kessler. He's going to try and go deep again. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Terrell Pryor that time. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
That's a bold strike right there, taking it downfield and putting some air on it. But how about the coverage? Able to get his hands across the receiver and bat the ball down.
So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. Throwing is Kessler on 3rd down. Finding time. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. fielded just inside the 20. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10. And that is incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And it's 3rd down.
I know I'm not giving enough credit to the defenders because that pass was incomplete. But come on, it was A.J. Green. I always expect him to come up with the ball.
Yeah, on those deep routes especially, even on incompletions, it's fun to watch him run those routes.
It certainly is. But
it got his man complete. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. 2nd down following the run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. Well, they'll say no to the 46-yard field goal try. They're going to go for it. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line.
4th and inches, does he get the first? You bet he does. He knows exactly where he needs to be, and he's going to fight his way forward to get a couple of yards and ensure he keeps the chains moving.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice run there, 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And now the offense operates in the red zone. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. 8 yards up, back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals in possession of the football and in possession of the lead as well as we start the 4th. Dalton, 1st and 10. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Browns offense back out there ready to take over. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Corey Coleman, 85 yards. And the Browns have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. And that score gives us our 6th lead change of the game.
Are we back on the playground on the seesaw?
A little seesaw battle,
right?
Yeah.
Up and down, up and down. What a game we've watched here.
It's been fun. Look at and he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it, so a sack on the 2-point try. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now, here come the Bengals. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. Dalton off play action. Flushed out right. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Agreed, that's twice now in this fourth quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They'll run it with Hill. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. The fourth quarter here, they got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Underneath here to Hill. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make it second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Can't find anyone open. This will be caught at the 2. And eventually stopped just shy of the goal line right around the 2. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Isaiah Crowell, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. And he atones for his miss the first time around as this one is up and good to extend their lead. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. The big nose tackle, Danny Shelton there to swallow him up.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Green alone out to the right.
380. 380.
Play action here with Dalton. Going up top. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. And here are the Browns now as the offense comes back out onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. So second and medium, 2nd and 5 now. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Hill, the lone setback. He'll get the football here. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
From the gun on 3rd, Kessler. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. That was a good, strong run there. And while it won't pick up a 1st down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe something they can build on as this game continues.
And let's see what the defensive coordinator may have up his sleeve here to try to get this final last stand and win this football game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. And they're going to speed things up here. Back to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed him. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play. For the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel silent.
And he loses the football a 2nd time. And this is picked up by the Browns. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They have the lead, still a one-possession game, but the defense got the stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened.
Here we go now.
They'll hand it off now. Hill. And a short gain. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Again, it's Hill. And some room to maneuver. And he'll work it inside the 30. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. They come out here in the eye. Now a handoff. Here's Hill down to the 25. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. So they're not running it. Kessler wants to throw. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
On the ground, this is Hill. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. So the D-line's going to spread out. Here's Kessler. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. Back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. He's back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. And now the Browns offense trots back onto the field. The clock cannot be stopped here. Defense can't do anything. So kneel it down, take it home.
No doubt about it. It's what you practice for in winning situations each and every week. Victory formation. Take a knee and go on into the locker room and celebrate.
Call it a victory. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. They have time here, partner, for just one final heave.
And I have to look at it from the defense's perspective here. We know what they're going to do on offense. The Hail Mary, try and get guys down there and throw it in the end zone, tip it around and catch it. You've got to have guys back there to defend that, but also you can't allow the quarterback...